Carlos Takam will be taking on Jerry Forrest this Saturday, the 9th of July on Top Rank ESPN. This is obviously since Jeremy has failed another drugs test and been taken off the card. Takam, who is 38 and 5, 28 KOs, 3 losses by KO, 2 losses by the distance, 1 draw. Takam's last fight was in 2020, February the 28th, against Fabio Maldonado, where he went the distance. He also fought Craig Lewis the year before that, went the distance. And the last time he fought in the UK on a Matchroom show was against Sanad Gashi, where he got late stoppage 2018. Jerry Forrest, his record is 26 and 3, 20 KOs, 3 losses, 1 of them coming by KO. Looking at these guys' losses and just looking at the level of opposition that they fought in their careers, so we can weigh up who's the real favourite, what's going to be happening, what's the styles. We'll start with Carlos Takam. Obviously, Carlos Takam, former world title challenger. Takam lost early in his career to Gregory Tony in France. Many say that was a bad decision. This was early in his career and lost an early decision. He actually drew with Mike Perez for the WBC, I think it was like international title. Back in 2014, he drew with Mike Perez, which I thought was quite a close fight again. In between that, Carlos Takam fought the likes of Franz Botha, Ivac Paravic, which was stopped these guys. Obviously, he got wins over Tony Thompson, which was in Paris. So Takam fought a lot of his career in Paris. His best win is particularly, you got the Tony Thompson win. He beat Michael Sprout, KO'd him. So it'd probably be the Tony Thompson. Tony Thompson's probably his best win, which is not the best win, not greatest win on the record. But Takam's been in with some tough guys. He obviously fought Povetkin, he got knocked out. I suspect Povetkin was on the juice in that fight, but I'm not going to send accusations. I'm not going to try and get no lawsuits from this video. But he got knocked out by Povetkin late on, which was a very tough fight. He did give Povetkin problems in that fight as well. He fought Joseph Parker for world title eliminator, I think it was. WBO eliminator. He went the distance with Joseph Parker. Very close fight. Parker edged it, but Takam kind of ran out of ideas, but was quite competitive, very competitive in that fight. He obviously lost to Joshua. Joshua stopped him quite late. Where it was on the 10th round, Joshua was beating him up every round, but he was still competitive and giving Joshua a bit of problems with his movement. It was quite a debut stoppage. It was a bit premature. Takam wasn't that hurt. He was down in the third round, but he wasn't down all the way up until the 10th, and he was wobbled, and the referee kind of jumped in straight away. He had a break after the Joshua fight, probably enjoyed that Joshua money, spent it, enjoyed it. He came back to fight for the vacant WBA International Continental blah 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 heavyweight title against Derek Chisora on the undercard of Joseph Parker Daniel White v Joseph Parker. He got spectacularly knocked out. Takam's never been knocked out like this by Derek Chisora. He was beating up Chisora for most of the rounds. It was a very highly entertaining slugfest, very tough. Both guys were taking licks, but Takam was hitting Chisora more and noticeably rocking his head back and hitting him. But Chisora came out with a real big right hand right onto Carlos Takam's temple, and then knocked him out again after that and stopped him in the 8th round. Takam's never been stopped that early. Since the Chisora knockout, he didn't look good. He didn't look good against Sanad Gashi, who's a southpaw, very a lot of movement. Takam looked a little bit gun shy. He did get the stoppage, but it was a very unenthusiastic performance. He then fought obviously Craig Lewis and Fabio Maldonado in America, I think for Top Rank, and he went the distance with both of them. He's now fighting Jerry Forrest in MSG. So now I'm going to break down what I feel Takam's strengths are and weaknesses for this fight. In terms of Takam's strengths, I feel that he's got I'm gonna say he's got the more experience coming into this fight at top level. Takam's been knocked out. He's fought the likes of Joshua. He's fought the likes of Povetkin. He's fought Chisora. He's fought top guys. Do you know what I'm saying? He may have lost, but he's fought top guys, and he's given himself good fights. Takam's got a very good work rate. I don't know how good his work rate is going to be at the age of... How old is he? Is he 40 now? I don't know how he's going to be at the age of 40, but he's definitely got a good work rate. He's definitely got the quicker hands, I feel, and he's definitely probably got do you know what I'm saying, a better boxing brain, I'm gonna assume, in his fight. So Takam, I think he has a reach advantage. I don't know if he has a reach advantage or not, but I feel like Takam is gonna try and be a bit circumspect in this fight. He's gonna try and move around a bit. He's not gonna slug it as much, but he's gonna try and be sensible. And Takam usually the kind of guy, he likes to outwork your opponents. So I bring like Takam will throw a lot of punches. In terms of his weaknesses, obviously he's been knocked out now, and since he got knocked out by Chisora, he hasn't been a bit gun shy. So we don't know how his chin has been since the Chisora knockout. He hasn't fought anybody who can bang even a little bit since he fought Chisora. So I don't know how powerful Jerry Forrest is, but I'm pretty sure he's got a bit of snap on his punches. So don't be surprised if Takam gets wobbled or hurt or is a little bit shaken, because he has been knocked out, and he has been knocked out heavy, and he hasn't fought a puncher or somebody that can punch a bit in a long time. So yeah, it could be looking a bit scrappy for Takam. Also, Takam's somebody that he hasn't got the best defense. He is quite slick and moves his head quite well, but he hasn't got the best defense, and he does like to sometimes exchange when he shouldn't have to. And Takam's somebody who likes to take rounds off, so he'll put a lot of pressure and take rounds off, so he can be susceptible to getting outboxed. We saw that against Joshua. If someone's got longer reach than him, he can be outboxed. So those are Takam's weaknesses. In terms of Jerry Forrest, in his record, Jerry Forrest got knocked out by Gerald Washington early in his career, devastating KO. He's also lost to Michael Hunter on points. Those were his early losses. In terms of his best win since then, it's a bit hard to figure out who's his best win. Is it? He hasn't really fought anybody. You know, he's been in America. He hasn't fought many. It might be Maria Coleman, maybe. I think I've seen him fight. So Takam's got the way better resume. I mean, Jerry Forrest is unproven. But one thing I can say about Jerry Forrest is I did see his fight against Jermaine Franklin, which is his other loss, was a split decision, and I thought Jerry Forrest actually won that fight. He showed a good jab. He showed good movement, and he's got a very sneaky. He's a southpaw, so he's got a very sneaky left straight left that comes. He hasn't got the best stamina. I see him getting a little bit tired at times. Maybe he's improved his fitness, but from the fights I've seen, he can be a bit lackluster. Isn't the most powerfulest guy from his record, but he can bang. 20 knockouts out of 26 fights. You can't really complain. He's got guys out there. He's KO'd a few guys. So I think it'll be more the sneakiness and the speed of his left hand that might trouble Takam. And yeah, that would be the most worrying thing. Also, Forrest coming off a knockout win in 2019. So he hasn't fought in a year. So he might be a little bit sloppy. But the last time he did fight, he got a knockout. But it has been a long time he's been out of the ring. So there may be ring rust. I expect Jerry Forrest to try and box. Keep it long. Keep it as long as possible. Keep Takam at a jab. Takam's going to try and move. Jerry Forrest can move, but he's very awkward. So it can be, I believe the first few rounds are going to be very cagey. Both guys have very awkward styles, so it might not merge, particularly in the first 3 or 4 rounds. But I believe late on in the fight, things will get interesting to see if Jerry Forrest's stamina will live up, and if Takam's work rate will overpower him. In terms of his weaknesses, he's only been stopped once, so he may have a better chin than Takam, but he hasn't fought any punches. I mean, he's been knocked out by Gerald Washington in 2013. I mean, Gerald Washington isn't the biggest puncher, but I can't say Forrest has a better chin than Takam because Takam's fought bigger punches, but he hasn't been knocked out as much as Takam, and he's on a winning streak, so that's one of his strengths. I think he has the longer arms, so he has the longer arms, so he can keep it on the distance. But one of the weaknesses I can say for Jerry Forrest is he's somebody who likes to slug. He likes to get into a slugfest. I think his nickname is the Slugger. So he does like to sometimes end up exchanging and getting in the inside. He's not the best inside fighter as I've seen on his video. He's not the best inside fighter, but he can box a little bit. And he's a southpaw, so he's got a sneaky left hook. So I do believe he's going to cause Takam trouble in the first half of the fight, just because he's going to be very awkward to land. Or he's seen against Sead Gashi that Takam struggles with southpaws to get his balance, to get his shots off. So I expect Jerry Forrest to win some rounds in the first few rounds of the fight. He might even potentially buzz Takam or hurt him. But if Takam can recoup and he's still got the same engine he had a couple of years ago, I expect Takam to overpower Jerry Forrest in a later stretch and potentially win on points. I can't rule out a stoppage. Jerry Forrest is the younger guy. He's 32. He's taller. He's got the longer reach. He hasn't been knocked out as much, but he hasn't fought in a year, and he's more inexperienced at top level compared to Takam. So for me, it's a 50-50 fight. You know, I think both guys have a chance to win on points. I think I would pick Jerry Forrest to get a stoppage. If there is going to be a stoppage or a knockout, I just feel Jerry Forrest will get the knockout of Takam, because southpaws have a sneaky left hook and a sneaky straight left, and I just feel like the way Takam fights and the way he jumps on his feet a lot and the way he pressures you, he could just run into a straight left. So I'm going to go for a Takam unanimous decision. It might be even a split decision. It might be a very close decision. I'm going to say Takam split decision or unanimous decision. If there's going to be a stoppage, it's going to be Jerry Forrest. If it's going to be a points win, it's going to be Takam. That's my prediction for the fight. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. I'm out.